And we're live. Hey, today we're going to talk about a handheld gimbal that I love. When this is over, I will put the link. I'm not an affiliate, it's just for Amazon. And what's funny is the one I'll show you today, there's actually an upgrade to the one that I have. And so you'll want to get that one. It's still $99. I paid $99 for mine. I don't know how many years ago. But if you're like, what is she talking about? What is a handheld gimbal? I call it a Smove. Mostly because it gives you smooth moves and because it drives my husband bananas. That's not what it's called. It's called a handheld gimbal. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to share screen and show you what can be done. What do you mean a smooth move? And so you use this with your iPhone, your Android. It's meant to be used with your mobile device. Some of them are set up. You could even put your GoPro on there. Let me share screen. Watch me go through window. Here we go. So I'm just going to show you. I did this a couple weeks ago in New York, and I was at Flux Studios, and I just wanted to give some background. I was talking about B-roll. So what I would use your Smooth for is B-roll, or if you're that walk and talk thing where people are walking and talking, and it adds an element of production. I would even try and walk and talk with this, and I'm not good at that. So let me play it just for a second. You don't need the audio, but just to show you, you can see that I'm holding it and it's still kind of floating, right? It's floating along. Let's see. Let's see if we can actually mute this. Oh, no, it won't let me mute it. I was going to mute it so you didn't have to hear me, but of Flux Studio. Just wait for when I turn around. Here you go. The reason B-roll is so important, it's like I'm getting B-roll of the little studio, and you can see how fluid this is. And many of you asked me, many of you asked me, what are you using? And then I accidentally cut off the live stream. And that's what happened. So the double, you can see, look, it's just floating into the room. I'm not doing any of this. I'm just holding and walking, and it will swivel and it will pan. I'm going to stop it now simply because I can't stand when there are two people talking at the same time, and I couldn't do that. So, but yeah, so those are the types of movement. You can get really nice B-roll. The reason I bought this, and I'm going to show it to you just to show you what it does. The reason we bought this is a number of years ago, I think it might've been 4 or 5 years ago, we were doing a pretty big production. So it was over $20,000 production. We needed a ton of B-roll. Now, I come from a production background where getting B-roll can be really costly, thousands and thousands, and maybe even tens of thousands of dollars. And by B-roll, I mean just getting footage of the fields, footage of the kids, footage of people harvesting and doing, right? And so all of that takes a lot of time. And if we wanted to get pan shots or lower shots, or to move from side to side, which is a pan, zoom in, that type of thing, you would need special equipment and a camera to do that. Not anymore. So we did this huge project, and all 100% of the B-roll was done with my phone and the Smove, which is really called a handheld gimbal, right? And so I love this because for $99, it adds production value. So B-roll is, I'll do a whole nother live on B-roll and capturing B-roll because it's my happy place. I love it. I've always loved it. I come from a documentary background where quite a bit of what I did was B-roll. So we'd have an interview day and a B-roll day, right? It probably takes longer to get really good B-roll than it does to have an interview. The interview is easy. You sit, you ask questions, that's it. The B-roll, you really want to me, it's a craft, it's art, it's a way of expressing. And so this makes it so easy. So again, this is by a company, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. No, I will. Zhiyun. It's Zhiyun. And again, you can't even get the model I'm going to show you anymore because that's how old it is. But it comes in a nice little case and it goes together super easy. It's really fun when I travel a lot with this. And whenever I bring it through, everybody thinks it's a tiny violin. And I'm like, that's right. I'm traveling with a tiny violin. I'm not. So all of this, and I'm just going to show you. So you just put the phone here. You have to take your case off or it won't fit. And when I hit the on button, which is here, it's also the record button, you'll see it's going to turn on and then it'll settle itself. Oh, there we go. See what it does? So now when I'm moving around, can you see how it's kind of swinging from side to side? That's it. It's very light. It's very easy. I like to do shots where you're coming up and around and you're like, oh, but what if that's framing is bad? It doesn't matter. You have little controls. So when you get really good at it, you can like come up and make sure you're controlling so it stays on your subject or stays on the tree or stays on whatever it is you're trying to film. But so this is a handheld gimbal, $99. And again, mine is the old version. You can't even get this anymore. You can use your screen. And what I'd highly recommend is you can put an app in. I'm going to put the link in, Colleen. After I'm done, I actually have a link to Amazon, but it's called ZHIYUN, $99. I'll put the link to the newest version of this. But again, it's so easy, right, to use this. And you could flip around, if you're doing like I was in that, I was talking and then I just clicked it around so you could do your lives on here. But what it's nice is that, again, it has this really beautiful floating function. You can just see the way it's very, very subtle. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to turn it off. It takes a little getting used to. It does this swirly thing. And then you're like, wait, that's not what I want to do. But I was about to say, the newer one comes with an app and it comes with something you can use through your phone so that the mechanism works with your phone and you have a lot more options for what to do. So you can use it as minimally as you want, or you can really get super duper fancy. The other thing, I love Filmic Pro, which is an app. You can use Filmic Pro, which basically turns your phone into a DSLR. And if you don't know anything about Filmic Pro, my buddies at Primal Video, if you look up Filmic Pro Primal Video, they do an excellent tutorial on Filmic Pro. They're big fans too. And again, so if you want to turn your phone into a DSLR, meaning you can change the lighting, you can change the focus, you could, right, like you can, if you're in low light, you can turn it higher, you can change the color space on your phone, right? So I'm not going to do a tutorial because I just think Justin and Mike did such a good job with it. But again, using Filmic Pro, hey, Lorraine, with the handheld gimbal, like these are just super simple ways of exponentially jamming up your production value, right? So now you could use it for lives if you're like showing you and you want to flip around and show something, great. I love using it for B-roll, which I get all the time. Because again, when I was at Flux Studios, here's me, here's the studio. I was about to highlight this and then I accidentally, operator error, I ended my live. And I promised everybody I would come and show you what I use. So again, I will put in the comments the brand I like, the version I like, but honestly, what you're looking for, if you're like, I don't love that one, or I want something else for $99 or below, just you want to be looking up a handheld gimbal and read those reviews, right? You want to make sure it's something easy for you to use because in my world, we call these prosumer. And prosumer means it's not professional because an actual gimbal would be, it's a giant thing. We have one in the closet over there. It's a giant piece of equipment that helps move a huge camera from side to side or up and down, right? This is a handheld gimbal. And again, $99. It's amazing to me, somebody who's been in production for so long, first started with editing and going nonlinear. And now just the things that you can do on your phone are amazing. And so if you have any questions, let me know. This is a super quick one. I wanted to call it Tech Tuesday, but it's Wednesday. And I won't be going live later today because I'm getting my hair done. As you can see, it's like looking like a helmet at this point. It's so dirty. Yeah, dirty hair to get done. But anyway, I wanted to pop in. So many of you asked me when I was at Flux Studios what I was using to get that smooth move. And this is what it is. Again, I'm going to turn it on. So it comes like this. You see how it's like a little bit limp and like, blah. Put your phone in there without the case. You hit the on button. And again, these take a little while. Sometimes if it's not set up quite right, it's hard. But did you see it just flips itself into place? And that's it. We use these all over New York two weeks ago. And it's great because they're so low profile. Tamara, I miss you too. Here's my handheld gimbal. I love it. I like to call it a smooth because you're getting a smooth move. That's right. So again, I know many of you are asking what one I'm using here. You can't get this one anymore because it's so old, but I will put its sister, its next generation in the links. Again, it's $99. It is I think if you just want to up your production value, even if it's just for your lives and you want to be on you and kind of move around a little bit, it just adds a little bit of production value, where before maybe it was just a talking head that's standing straight. So anyway, if you have questions, let me know. Will I see you next week? I don't think I'm going to see you next week on our scheduled time. I am going to be out of town. So, but we'll get you. And again, these are the things we want to talk about. Maybe next week, if someone wants to talk about B-roll, capturing B-roll, what kinds of things, what's the best way, happy to do it. Would love to do it, but let me know what you want me to talk about. Again, 20 years up in this noggin. I got a lot in my noodle. Let me know. It is electronic. Yeah. So Tamara, I'll have you watch the replay because you turned it here. I'll turn it on one more time because Tamara is my bestie, my business bestie, making back end sexy. Did you see that? I pushed the button, it went on, and it goes like this. And not only is it electronic, my friend, but with the newer version, you can get an app on your phone that talks to it, and then they work together. And if you want to go super duper duper fancy, you can use Filmic Pro, which is an amazing app. And Tamara, you might want your son to look into this, but it's an amazing app that you can turn your phone into a DSLR. And what I mean by that is you can work with the focus and the lighting and all of those things. So yeah, super fun. Again, any tech, anything you want me to teach, I'm here, and I'll see you at some point next week. I just don't know when. From the camera. I know. What? Who knew? Me. I know a lot. I just don't know what to share with you unless you tell me. Okay, I'll see you all next week. Take care.